This is a 30-minute beginner ballet workout. It is low impact, there's no jumping, and if you've got shoes on, kick them off. You want to do this barefoot or in socks like I have here, or heck, if you've got some ballet shoes, put those on. I do have some, they're just no longer comfortable, so I prefer socks because it's a little bit cold today. We are continuing the warm-up with these hip cleaners. They're also called figure eights. The previous exercise that you did are called prances. We're doing about 16 repetitions of every exercise. These will definitely challenge your balance, so actually go ahead and grab a chair, or you can hold on to a counter. If you've got a bar, great. So just have that handy. Some of these exercises you will want to hold on to something, and maybe this one as well. So I am bending and straightening that standing leg, so I'm not just locking out that knee. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Nina. I am a certified personal fitness trainer and strength and conditioning coach, and I have a certification in fitness nutrition. On these next leg swings, just make it really light and don't hold. A lot of people do these and they like hold onto their muscles and their hips really tight and they're really rigid. This should be basically flowy, like you're kicking dirt behind you, and this is hard to balance. So again, you can grab onto something while you're doing these and just be loose and flexible. And if you have great flexibility, if you have really flexible hamstrings, you can kick your leg higher than me. Some people can kick their foot all the way up to their shoulder. If you're a football player, that would be super easy for you, because I see the football players doing that all the time, where they're doing these swings, but they kick their foot up and they try to touch their toes to their hands. It's quite impressive. I am not terribly flexible, and that's okay. It does not stop me from doing the things I enjoy. It doesn't stop me from doing any exercise, and I just do the best I can. So that's all I ask of you. These are side leg swings, and we are still warming up. We'll get to the harder stuff first, so enjoy this gentle warm-up. And if you're having problems with balance, one thing that's very helpful is not to look down. You want to look straight ahead and focus on something, basically stare at it. And your core, that would be your obliques, your abs, the low back. Keep all of that rigid. So people, I call it a lazy ab or a lazy core, that's when you fall down. So a lot of these are using those core muscles, keeping them tight. So when I used to hear people say, engage your core, I thought that meant suck in. So not quite. It's more like as if someone's going to punch you in the gut and you tighten those muscles. So it's not sucking in. So that's how you tighten your core. And when you're doing these ballet exercises or any exercise, you also want to have good posture. So you want your shoulders, it's called back and down. So you don't push your shoulders up to your ears. They're relaxed, but you have your back muscles engaged. So for instance, you can see I've got my hands on my hips and my elbows back, and that automatically engages those back muscles, and that really helps me with balance. When you're doing these, go as high as you can on those toes. Again, look at something and focus on it, and my knees are going out. That will protect your knees. All right, next exercise, we're going to do plie squats in a second position. So these are not a typical squat. A typical squat is your knees would be more forward and your butt would be further down, and you're really flexible, and then your torso will be more forward. So I am much more upright. I'm not completely straight, because that would be and basically it would just be impossible the way I'm designed. So there is a slight lean forward, but I'm fairly upright, and so my knees should be right in line with my toes. All right, just one more of these, and good. I know that those were tough. All right, feet together, first position. All right, I have my heels together. I know this looks crazy. It's not too bad. It really isn't. But yeah, hold on to something, your bar, your counter, the back of a chair, a sturdy chair, and go slow. And if your knees hurt, don't go as deep. You can skip this if you want. You can stay in the second position. This workout, just customize it to your level. Go as slow or as fast as you want, but control really will protect you from injury. So it's not cardio, so we're not going really fast. This is strengthening, and you may feel your quads start to shake. That's good. That's working the muscle. If your joints hurt, then readjust, pause, and you'll feel this in your glutes. That is your butt. Working pretty much everything here. This is a great exercise. One more, and then we are going to stay in the first position, and you're going to go point front, point side, and point back. And when you go back, you will actually need to lean your torso a little bit forward. That will protect your back and help you from falling over. So this one, it looks like it's not a balance challenge, but if you're doing it with me, you'll notice that, wow, when I move my foot to the back, I really need to reposition my balance. To get a slim ballerina body, you don't need to starve yourself. But what you do want to eat is a low protein, oil-free, low-fat, whole foods diet. So what you don't want to be afraid of and not eat or avoid, you don't want to avoid healthy whole food carbohydrates. So you definitely want to eat fruit. That is a healthy food. It's not fattening at all, and it will give you lots of energy. So for breakfast, a lot of time I'll eat a salad and I'll put fruit on it. My favorite is greens, baby greens, and I'll add chopped mangoes to it. And then I'll throw in some hemp seeds on top, and that will be my breakfast. But it's not a tiny bowl. It's a huge salad bowl with a ton of fruit in it. You know, I might add even some banana slices to it. I just kind of vary it. I do different fruit, but that's one of my favorite light salads. Oh, and I don't eat any oil. Oil is pure fat, totally unnecessary, and it's a lot of calories. So I found this wonderful vinaigrette. It's an oil-free vinaigrette, and they have all these different herbs and all these different flavors. It's by California Balsamic. And the one that I love is it's a garden herb mustard. It might sound kind of funky, but it is fantastic. So I put that on all my salads. I could actually eat just a salad with that vinegar, and there's no oil. It's oil free. So I'll put the link to the website below, and when you place your order in the notes, you can pick 2 free samples. Just ask for 2 so that you can try some other flavors. But it's great because you get that sweetness from the grapes, and the grapes are from Modena, Italy. So I double checked. I contacted the manufacturer to make sure that, you know, there was no pesticides on them. They weren't GMO grapes, because we definitely don't want that. But yeah, I just drizzled that on my greens, and then I add my fruit. Or sometimes I'll do a salad with beans, and sometimes I'll even add some corn on it. But I don't just eat salads. I eat all sorts of different foods. I eat soups and stews, but I do a low fat diet, and by allowing myself to eat more carbs, I definitely limit the fats, and that lets me eat very large portions. So I'm never hungry, and I can eat as much as I can, and my stomach will tell me, hey, you're full, because all those high carbohydrate healthy foods like the beans and the lentils and the fruit and the vegetables, and yes, I do eat potatoes, but I don't put any oil on it. So you can eat, it's for instance, a potato. So the potato doesn't make you fat. It's the fried potato that makes you fat. It's the French fries. It's the potato chips that have got a bunch of oil on it. So that's what makes you fat. And some people, they avoid bread. And I don't eat any bread. I don't eat any gluten. It just does not make me feel good. It makes my stomach bloated. And those you can overdo it. Those are high calorie processed foods. But some people can get away with still eating the bread and the pasta. So if you eat the bread, or any bread, just don't put butter on it. And if you want to do your avocado toast, be careful, don't eat more than a quarter of an avocado a day. Those are high fat, high calorie. And then if you're going to have your pasta, just no cheese, because again, the cheese is high salt, it's high calorie, it's got a lot of cholesterol in it, it's really toxic for the body, and our bodies hate it, and it ends up, our bodies end up attacking itself, and we end up getting sick and not feeling good, and some people end up with acne. So yeah, don't put cheese on anything, don't eat it, definitely not on your pasta. So if you eat your pasta, go ahead and put some tomato sauce on it. So in fresh tomatoes and fresh basil, that's wonderful. And I like adding actually, I don't eat pasta. I make my own quote unquote pasta with zucchini noodles. So I've got a spiralizer, and it's just like you peel your zucchini, you cut off the ends, and you take the zucchini and you press it in there, and then you crank it and it makes noodles. So I use that. So I make my own vegetable noodles called zoodles from zucchini. So I don't eat bread, I don't eat pasta, and I don't eat those because they just don't make me feel good. It's not a calorie thing. So I just have very large portions, which is really nice. So I am vegan, and I used to eat animal products. I used to eat chicken and beef and pork, and I had a lot of trouble losing weight, and I would eat fewer carbs, and I would measure my carbs. Back then when I had pasta, I would weigh it, 2 ounces maximum, and then when I would eat my like quinoa or rice, I would measure them out, so it would be like half a cup, and I would only eat maybe 1.5 banana a day, and the other day I had 4 bananas. So I weigh 10 pounds, 15 pounds less than I used to by eating more carbohydrates. And the lower your fat, the healthier you are. So have been so many studies that have proven that if you eat a low-fat diet, which means that you eat no more than 10% of your total daily calories from fats, any fats that includes nuts, that will protect you. So anything over 10%, you're at a higher risk of diabetes and heart disease and all sorts of other terrible medical problems. So people will say, well, I don't eat high fat. You actually don't know how much fat you're eating unless you plug in the information. So there's a wonderful app called Chronometer. It's Chronometer. And what I recommend everybody does is log in all your food for 5 days, but you can just start with 1 day, and then at the end of the day or the following day, enter all those foods into the app, and it will tell you how many calories, how many carbohydrates, how much cholesterol you're eating at all. And it's because you just don't know until you plug in the information. There's just no other way. And it really surprised me because I was eating nuts and I didn't think I was eating too many. And then I realized, wow, nuts are super high in fat. They are good for us, but we really should be eating a very small amount. And you don't need to eat nuts every day. Some people do, but I am vegan, so I make sure that I do eat either chia seeds or flax seeds every single day, ground, because I don't eat fish, and fish oil is not healthy. I could eat or consume algae, which is what the fish eat, and that's how they get their omega-3s. But I had a reaction twice to algae, and I ended up with hives all over my body. So I looked online, and It's not terribly uncommon, so there's bacteria in our waters, and my body just reacted to it. And some of those oils, actually all oils, go rancid very quickly. So even though I had it in my refrigerator and I used it up quickly, my body just, a little bit of bacteria is not happy. So I grind up my flax seeds, I'll throw them in a smoothie, or I'll make a chia seed pudding, and all I do is I'll take some blueberries or a bunch of strawberries out of the freezer, and I'll add a tablespoon or two of chia seeds, and then I'll stir it up, and then put it in the refrigerator. And then the next morning I stir it up again, and then I have my little chia seed pudding. And sometimes I'll just add cinnamon. And it's really good. It sounds really boring, but it's fantastic. So give that a try. You are more than halfway done with this workout. I know it's challenging. If your hips or legs get sore, just shake it out. If your arms start to ache, just bring them down. So my arms are not very far back. They're in front of my face. And if your hands start to hurt from having your hands on your hips, you can put them down at your sides, or you can put them up. Just do your best and make sure to listen to your body. A lot of people, we don't listen to our bodies. When we're tired, we make ourselves stay up. When we're thirsty, we ignore it, and we'll sometimes eat when we should be drinking. So make sure to listen to your body. If it hurts, then that means stop. If you're tired, that means it's time to go to sleep. So if your back aches, that typically means you need to stop what you're doing and maybe move around. So we need to listen to the cues that our body tells us. So when you are bringing that leg or that foot up and you're pointing that toe, you don't have to go as high as I am. And just make sure again that your knee is going out to the side and your hips are going out to the side. So a lot of people do this and their knee is facing front. So you could see mine is out to the side, and you may have more open hips and you may be even more out to the side. So, if I was a ballerina, obviously that knee would be way far out to the side, but mine is not in front. So it's as best as I can do, and it's still good form. And that's all we care about, is doing our best and having proper form and having fun. Don't worry about being perfect. We have 5 more left of this exercise. Take your time. I'm just gliding my toe up the side of my leg, keeping focused, looking straight ahead. My shoulders are down, my elbows are pulled back, engaging my back muscles. And I am making sure on this exercise that my arms are out in front, and I try not to have claw hands. And my elbows are not down at my sides. They are out, and that will make your back muscles work more. So you might have a little achy back, but do your best. And again, keep focus and keep a little bend in that standing leg. That will help you with balance and prevent that knee pain. And you'll probably feel that quadriceps working. Those are the muscles on your thigh. So whenever you're extending that leg, you are working your quadriceps. All right. Are you ready? All right, other side. You might be getting tired. You may need to reposition. I went back to 5th position right there. And you might have one side that is better than the other. And as you can see, I am really not doing so great on this side. That's okay. I think I got a little distracted. My husband started talking to me about the cat, and I forgot to glide my toe all the way up the side of my leg, and that's okay. So hope you'll forgive me for this one. So we have 4 left, and then we will be doing a demi-plie in the first position with swan arms. So you'll be able to move those arms. All right, are you ready? These are fun, I like these. So we're just trying to be as graceful as we can, delicate, trying not to be rigid, kind of a flexible, flowy movement here. And my fingers are relaxed, and I'm not going very deep in those knees, just a little bit out. And again, make sure those knees are going out and not straight. Take your time and concentrate. Use that mind-body connection to really think about what you're doing. Don't think about, am I doing this wrong? Just think about, does this feel good? Is this form look or feel correct? I like doing workouts sometimes in front of a mirror, and then I can see, is my form off? Do I need to make any corrections? Now we're just bringing our foot out to the side, pointing, and then gliding that right back in. And we're going to do 2 taps. 1 and then 2 and then 2 taps. So 2 to the side with 2 taps. Get ready to switch sides. So go back into 5th position, and I'm pointing my toe and I'm gliding it back, and I'm bending and I'm straightening, and I'm leaning a little bit forward as I'm kicking it back. So bending, straightening, and gliding that toe on the mat. So if your goal is to lose body fat, or maybe you want to clean up your diet or try to eat healthier, I do have a diet and nutrition book. It's called the High 5 Diet, which you can order from my website, thehigh5diet.com. It's all spelled out. It's the THE high HIGH 5 FIVE diet DIET.com. So I came up with that name. So when you do well, it's like giving someone a high five. You know, you bring your arm up in the air and you slap someone else's hand. So basically, it's good job. So it's a program, and it's basically, if you can get yourself 5 points, you're on your way to losing extra body fat and getting healthier. It's only $16.15. You can get it on Amazon. I have Kindle and paperback, but I definitely recommend the paperback, because you're gonna want my book in your kitchen, because it's got so many recipes and the recipes are delicious. And so I want you to have that ready, and then you can fold the pages and just have that right there whenever you want to make something healthy and delicious. So you are getting close to the finish line. We've got about 6 minutes left. We're just giving a little break with some of these hip swings again, working on that core and the bounce. Switch sides, other leg. Just pretend you are playing golf and you're kicking that grass right behind you. Just swinging, letting that leg just gently move forward and back. And don't worry about height, letting the heart rate come a little bit further down this time. So we're going to bring your heart rate back down a little bit more, going back to those prances, just alternating one foot then the other, balancing and looking straight ahead, going slow. The next exercise is challenging, but it is the last tough exercise. This takes quite a bit of balance. You're shifting your weight from one foot to the other. Make sure you're landing soft. So let's pretend you're in an apartment and you're upstairs and you don't want your neighbor to hear you. So this takes a lot of strength to land without that thud. And I'm landing on the entire foot and I'm pushing off with my toes and ready to switch to the other side. I'm going to change my hand and arm position and moving from waist height to overhead with my arms. And you don't have to bring your toe above the knee. You can have it lower if you like. And this does take a bit of practice, so just do your best and just really focus. Let's stretch out those calves. Make sure your toes are pointed forward, both of them, and the front foot, or I should say the front knee is bent. The back knee is completely straight, and I'm pushing that back heel into the mat and switch sides. And I'm stretching out my back as well. And this should feel fantastic, especially after that workout. Let's just stretch our lats. Those are the big muscles in the back, just up and overhead. And when you go to the side, make sure you're stretching your arms up first toward the ceiling and then over. So a lot of people do this and they're just crunching. So again, up and then over, slowing the heart rate down. Should feel like a wonderful stretch. You deserved it. Great job. Let's stretch those hamstrings. I've got my foot flexed and my leg is straight. And then let's switch the other side. And I'm also stretching those pectoral muscles. My hands are interlaced behind my back. Let's just rotate the wrists and the feet. And let me know if you liked this workout. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. And I hope you have a great day. Let's go ahead and stretch out the quadriceps muscles, the muscles on the front of the leg. I'm balancing. This is a lot of balance in this workout. Go ahead and switch other side. I'm trying to bring my heel to my butt, and you'll notice my standing leg is bent. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and rotate those wrists. Hydrate, drink lots of water, shake out those hands. I hope to see you soon.